What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we are here to discuss two topics in one. One, Summer's Games Fest coming out in June, and two, Corey's favorite company, Microsoft, is at it again.
Arch nemesis.
Should I let you go first?
Let's cover Game Fest because that seems like the easiest one to go over.
Okay. What you looking forward to? What you hoping to see? Talk to me.
One more trailer for Sparking Zero.
Okay.
I think that we got the recent one. We got like Master and Apprentices and whatnot, which was absolutely fantastic. Actually, judging from that, I can tell a lot of it. To a lot of certain characters will be storyline based, which you can tell. Which I'm fine with that. I see they have Beerus because we already knew we said Beerus, but I think seeing that was actually pretty cool. Master Roshi, Tien, all of them.
Yeah. Master Roshi. Tien, don't tell you.
The moment Master Roshi in Tournament of Power, where he did his final speech and final command, that was obviously
that's going to be a different Roshi though. They got mass pop effect. You about to get two?
It is. And I'm about to play with the buff one. I don't even care.
Get the homeboy Chaozu.
I don't. I mean, you probably could win, and you might have to sacrifice yourself. But that's about it. Yeah. No, I'm good with it. I think the final trailer. Well, I don't know if it'll be the final one. No, I think they have one more after.
They'll probably do like a big trailer for it. Maybe
I think
show the release
towards
date.
Yeah, I think they'll show release date. And it'll probably one more towards the fall.
Yeah,
if I were to guess. I'm looking forward to that as far as just because that'll be on all consoles and PC. So that's fine with me. I guess both Gears is obviously going to be the next one that they got to continue their cycle, which we'll get into later on. I'm trying not to. I'm really just trying to keep focused. Go ahead,
because you're gonna lose your. You're gonna say a game, then you're gonna start. Your eyes gonna start twitching.
I'm gonna my left side gonna start screaming. Left side gonna.
Gears. It's about time the next installment comes out. Pretty sure Nintendo will have stuff. Sony will have whatever big game is coming out this year, which I'm not. I honestly don't remember what's supposed to come out this year. So I'd just be surprised and be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll have that.
Hopefully Spider-Man DLC will be announced.
Yes.
The other two previous games, not Miles. I don't remember if Miles had DLC. I don't think it did. But the original Spider-Man had DLC. I'm hoping that gets announced in whatever games that come out. And then, obviously, Sparking Zero, like you said, I think they'll show maybe like a release date. It'll probably be next year, unless they're just ahead of schedule. But I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I think it'll be early next year. I would say like January, February.
I feel like that's probably January.
Yeah.
I don't know what characters they will show next.
The only thing I can see them showing in the next trailer would be trying to go through it. Maybe some of the other universes.
Yeah,
I would say probably that.
Your homegirl rebrand.
Don't let me come over. I would say that, just to show that they're in it. I think the final trailer going back to that will probably be, UI evolution, fusion. I think that would be the case. I think, not to stay on Sparking Zero, but again, I think when they show the DLC, I think it'll be, I would say, because I don't think the Broly movie is gonna be a DLC because they show Broly full powered.
Probably not. And
so I would say superhero. Yeah, I would probably say superhero would be the DLC.
Because Beast Gohan's already in it.
Oh yeah, we know he's in it, but he's in a movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, so I think that's why they would do it. Yeah, because they already showed full power Broly, and obviously OG that's attached to him. So clearly the movies will be part of the storyline and stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot Xbox Fable. More than likely, probably a teaser for Elder Scrolls 6. I think the number's at. Maybe a Grand Theft Auto trailer.
Maybe. That's true.
I mean, it's far fetched, but maybe. I think Monster Hunter Wild should get another trailer, maybe a release date or a demo announcement, hopefully. I think there's a game called Avowed for Xbox. I know Sony has like Death Stranding 2. There's supposed to be a new Uncharted game coming out. Maybe we get a teaser for that. There's so many different options. I'm hoping for
Wukong.
a Wukong. Yeah.
Which is
Wukong comes out like late August.
yeah. So,
So
yeah, I think
probably
they'll
a
have,
trailer. Maybe a demo.
is there an actual release date?
Yeah.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Like August.
So last week.
21st.
So it's like it's last week. Okay.
I think off the top of my head, it's on Steam, but I think it's the 21st. Off the
Okay.
top of my head. Maybe a demo for Wukong would be lovely,
Yeah.
and then
I'm probably sure it. It's on top of my tongue.
Sounds good.
DLC. Like first when pre-order bonuses. That's what I was gonna say.
Obviously, the travesty that's Call of Duty will probably get a teaser or something until Xbox's showcase in
Battlefield.
June. I don't even want to care about Battlefield anymore. Talking about some live service. I was like, why are you going live service to Battlefield?
Oh, Madden.
I believe it.
I mean, no. The only reason I mentioned because you spoke of Call of Duty. That's why I was like, this is I
wasn't gonna mention it because I don't think they normally get shown during Summer's Game Fest. They normally get shown during their respective company. So whenever EA has their live stream,
2K has a game coming out.
I forgot about them.
And NCAA should have another trailer.
yeah.
That's the other.
Yeah,
sports related.
I normally don't mention sports or Summer Games Fest because they don't really get shown during Summer Games Fest. They normally get shown whenever EA/Microsoft sometimes has their press conferences, and then they get shown because it's
There,
it's their thing. So Summer Game Fest normally for other games like indie titles, obviously AAA games, and bigger stuff, and maybe randomly it'll be like a montage of games coming out for like EA or whoever, and they'll throw Madden 26, is it?
No,
25? Five. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, and 2K and FIFA and MLB and golf. Do they still make golf games? No,
Yeah,
they do. I don't know. I'm surprised.
There's going to be that
hockey.
There's F1 racing.
Forza.
F1 racing, which I started to get more into F1 racing. So I'm not playing Forza.
Why not? I'm sure you can find a cheap one.
I'm sure I can. That doesn't. I don't doubt that. But no, I'm not playing. No, I'm not doing it.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
In transitioning,
I'm glad you sat up.
Transitioning to news, my favorite past company that I stood by for so many years, and I remember that fateful day. I said, Courtney, I'm done. I'm done with the Kool-Aid. I've seen the light. I got my antibiotics. I'm good. I've changed my ways. If you haven't heard, Philip J. Spencer.
Wow.
Strikes
like
again.
You know the man.
He strikes again. If you guys have been, you can go to our past videos. I'm pretty sure I'll post them. Where I have said before that when you stick around someone long enough, you know what they're going to do. It's like clockwork. In the moment I heard that they were buying up all these studios, I said, all right, we'll see. I'm going to be an optimist.
Okay.
It wasn't a lot, but an optimist nonetheless. And I said, you know what? Let's see where this goes.
Okay.
And after the first year, it's like, okay. And I was told by you, just in year one, give it a chance. I said, all right.
And we did.
And you're right, because hold on.
Okay.
You're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I was like, fine, give it a chance. Year two showed up. I was already out the door. I already said this was a mistake. It was a bad idea. Nothing good will come from this. And they put out a game, and it was year 3 now since they did it, or 4? I want to say 4.
Almost 4.
Almost 4. All right,
so let's say 3. Let's say year 3.
Let's say they put out what is it, Hi-Fi?
They put out Redfall, Hi-Fi Rush.
That was good.
I think another game? I can't remember.
But let's just leave with those two.
Okay.
They dropped Redfall. And I saw the trailer. Again, much like movies, the trailer is supposed to kind of hype you up and make you think, okay. We saw the gameplay. It was not great. It was not great at all. It made no sense. Then Hi-Fi came out, and I played it. I enjoyed it. And you would think that, hey, one of the two worked out really well. Let's just double down on the one and just keep it going. Let's add it to the mix. Nope. They said, we don't like success. We don't like nice things. We don't like consistency. We're going to die on our hill of those 3 games, Halo, Gears, and Forza. We will die on this hill. So much so that now they're transporting their games over to PS5 because now they have to make money. So I don't understand you. I don't, from a business aspect, this is going to sound super entitled, and forgive me, because my pet peeve is entitled people. I'm going to be that person right now. I want answers. I need to sit down on what was the reason why you decided to spend billions of dollars on buying these studios to produce 2 games, and the one worked, and you said, in comparison to Halo, it's not good enough. Well, of course, but it worked for this section that you put it in, and all you had to do was just double down on it. You suck. It worked. I'm sorry. It worked. But my anger, here's the thing. My anger was already trickling down my anger was scaled down. I am still enraged by this moment when they took that game, and I sat there like, wow, this looks like not exactly, but when I saw it, I was like, man, that joy that I'm feeling with this reminds me of Legend of Dragoon. Remember Legend of Dragoon? I do. Such a great game. I loved it. I want it back, please, because if I can't get scaled down, at least give me that.
At least put it on PC at this point.
Thank you.
I'll play it on PC with the old PS1 graphics.
I don't care. It is fine. When they said scale, I was like, oh, it's all right. Oh, okay. All right. And I woke up one day to a message from you. I was so angry. I did a double take and I said,
I remember that screenshot.
Of course.
Funny. I wish I still had it.
I was so angry. I was like, of course. Why wouldn't they? They don't like nice things at all. Game Pass not making you no money. I wonder why. I can't. And I can't even, and I know the PlayStation version of it to make it, but at least PlayStation has games that they stick with and they double down on it. I understand them. They get pass for that. Nintendo gets a pass from that. You cornballs, I don't understand.
You okay? You done?
Every time. Every time. And it's like, I shouldn't be shocked. But then every time they do something, it outdoes the last thing. I thought you ruined Scalebound and bought 3 studios. I'm like, all right, well, that was stupid.
More than 3.
Yeah, you're right. I'm waiting for the rest of them to buckle at this point. You ruined Scalebound and bought like 10 studios. Let's just go up. Let's just say 10. 10 studios. I don't know why you do the things you do, and I don't understand why you still have a job. I genuinely cannot fathom this concept right now. Every year, every year they sit there and like, oh, well, we bombed this. We're okay. Let's see what else we can bomb, and let's see how far we can go before we're completely under. Instead of just saying, well, we're just trying to keep ourselves afloat and put out some quality games. You had it right in your lap. You canceled it. You had it in your lap again. You ruined the studio. I don't understand. I don't. Maybe you can help me understand. You're a wise one in this marketplace, in the gaming marketplace.
I'm often right when it comes to this stuff.
Maybe I was right about them, and I told you when I defected and left.
Well, before that,
I sat there trying to give them hope.
I had to drag you along.
I had to sit there. I was like, "Oh no, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine." I'm like, "All right, Corey, you can't keep shooting yourself in the foot. You're running out of toes." I said, Courtney, I'm gonna come to your PS5 side, Steam side. I see the light. Not familiar. I see the light.
Can I go before you curse?
They're so.
So as I've been saying for years, which I've been right for so many things in these topics. Yet again, I have said
I was right,
and
too.
I said before that okay, just because you buy, like I have no problem with companies buying studios. If Sony came out and bought studios and Nintendo came out and bought, I have no problem with that. I always say you have to give them time to make the game. Just because you buy a studio doesn't mean you're gonna reap the rewards, right? See the profits automatically come in because you don't know how long the game's in development. You don't know if they even started yet when they brought it.
Like any company.
Yeah. So when they brought the studios, in my mind, I was like, well, I'm not gonna write them off. I'm gonna see what they develop. It's not, to a small degree, I'm not blaming Microsoft for the failure of Redfall because they brought the studios. Obviously, a studio job to make a game for people to play and enjoy. So when Redfall came out, obviously the trailer was like interesting game. When more we heard about it, I was like, okay, that seems interesting topic. And then when they showed it, everyone was like, what is this buggy mess? Like, what are you doing?
I was understand what you're doing about that too.
So that was a failure, obviously, in everyone's mind.
Of course it was.
Then Hi-Fi Rush came out on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. It was a hit. Obviously, it wasn't. I don't know what they were expecting it to make for it to work.
I have two things to say now.
But it didn't work in their eyes. And from, I guess, rumors or whatever on internet and Twitter, whatever, they were talking about making a second one, which people would have bought.
Yes.
But then they axed them along with the company made Redfall and some other company. Obviously, the reason why the other studios haven't got, axed yet because their game hasn't come out yet.
That's
now
probably taking a sweet time now.
Probably. But I'm pretty sure at least one or two might come out this year, which is obviously it's fine. It just has to look, just because you show a game and everyone's like, okay, it looks good, the final product has to be worth playing to sell. And obviously, if you're spending, billions of dollars on studios, you need to make that money back. And clearly, whatever Redfall and Hi-Fi Rush made wasn't good in the eyes of, the leadership, pretty much. So it's not just, Xbox is going to obviously take all the blame and all blah, 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 blah.
You sign it.
But if you buy, it's like if you buy a company and their photographers suck and you're not getting the money back, you're going to end up firing them. Now, with that being said, I've said this in previous Xbox and game videos before, you can't rely on Xbox, Halo, Gears, and Forza to make your money. Obviously, those are your three biggest cash cows, and you're always going to come out with them until, shut up, until, you can't make any more Halo or Gears. So hopefully for them and gamers, that the next...
There's no next.
Shut up. The next Elder Scrolls pays off. The next Fable game pays off. The next... I think, what's the game called? Avowed, it pays off. Because you need games other than those three to keep people, keep coming back and to keep your fan base happy. Obviously, if you put your games on PlayStation and obviously on Steam, you're going to make that money, which is fine. No one's shooting. It's always been plus. What? No, go. What?
Just for that part. I have other things to say, but I don't want to take abuse.
Okay.
I understand. When I heard they were putting their stuff on PlayStation, I was like, of course you are. I was like, I get it.
For me,
but my problem with that, though, and I get the financial part where you got to recoup things, so you got to just make a decision. But I feel like, and maybe it's me, that when you put your games on PlayStation, it's not really I'm trying to word this correctly. It's not really looked at as your game. If that, here's why I say that. I know it's theirs. But when people started to play certain things on PlayStation, I see reports of the frame rate looked better, this looked better. It looks so bad for you because it's on a more
powerful, established, well put together, consistent. it's on a different console like PlayStation, which it's like the graphics are better on PlayStation. Period. Frame rate, all that. Everyone's always said it when games come out on both. They said stability and all that stuff looks better on PlayStation.
Yes.
It's still, and for me, I don't mind games going to another console. Not because of profit reasonings. It's mainly because, like, for instance, Xbox has like Grounded and Sea of Thieves on PlayStation. To me, I'm just like, that's not like a oh my god moment.
True.
If they came if eventually, let's say Gears of War or Halo comes out. If it's the older games, to me again, I'm like, okay,
It's not a problem. I get.
and
Yeah.
to me, I'm still like, all right, I've already played them.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I don't care. Will I play them again? 50-50, depending on what I'm playing at the time.
Yeah.
Now, if let's say the new Gears or the new Halo came day one to PlayStation, and then I would be like, who's smoking crack over there to make that decision? Because but more people, in my opinion, would play it on
PlayStation.
If they had both, they're gonna play it on PlayStation or PC. Not when I say PC, I mean Steam, not Game Pass.
Yeah, don't care. Yes, it's still Xbox,
so for me, seeing Xbox move games over to PlayStation, I'm just like, I don't care because I'm not. To me, I'm like, I'm not worried about CFDs or Grounded. I didn't play them on a Game Pass before or Xbox. I'm not gonna.
No, that's fine. The older games are fine.
Yeah,
it's the new. It's the stuff they're doing now.
Yeah, I would be more. I'm not even gonna say concerned. I would question it if it was a brand new game, like you would think is exclusive to Xbox, and then like, oh, surprise, it's day one on PlayStation there, and then their fan base is gonna be like,
I think, but I'm waiting. But again, because the consistency of who they are, I'm waiting for that day to come. This method. Now, I'm not saying it's happening this summer.
Yeah.
But how they operate, and they're, like we always say, they're holding on to these 3 games. At some point, those games aren't coming out. Like, there's gaps.
Yeah, of course.
In between years worth of gaps. It's not like 2 years. No, these are like 4.
Is Halo, what's this, 5 that just came out?
Yeah, I still didn't finish that playing it, but yeah. No, I did. It was one before that. I didn't finish,
Halo 5 came out a year or 2 ago. Now? A year?
There's probably 2. It feels longer.
It does feel longer. Let's say 2.
Yeah.
The last Gears came out like...
It's been a minute.
4 or 5 years?
At least 5.
And so, like I've always said before, it's always... Forza is in the middle, because honestly, Forza, I feel like they release like every year.
They do. They just update the cars.
And get like some different sponsorship. So that's what I'm saying. It's always like, okay, so we'll get Gears now, probably like, I don't know, let's say October. And then maybe like Gears and Forza again, or Gears and it'll be another game they've been showcasing slowly on and off. And then let's say next year it'll be Forza and probably another big game that they're like banking on, to have like another AAA game to match it, to try to like go ahead with it. And then let's say another 2-3 years it'll be Halo Armageddon or whatever. I don't know. Because they have they have stuff lined up. It's executing it is where the studios have been semi-failing, I would say. I'm saying semi. High Five was a success, and I'm only saying semi because the stuff they have that works. They had games that come out. Obviously, certain games aren't for everyone. So I'm not going to say a lot of the stuff that's come out has failed, because some stuff has worked for them.
No, I get
so with Avowed and Fable, and eventually Elder Scrolls 6 coming, because they have Bethesda. So Elder Scrolls 6 and whatever else Bethesda's working on. Now we're gonna mention Starfield because that game is just blah at this point.
That was such
see, you know what the funny thing about that is?
Go ahead.
it worked for them because they got the money. Because everyone was so banging on
The
it.
way they Courtney, I even sat here and like, all right, I'm gonna play this game.
Yeah.
And I played it and you asked me like how was it? I'm like,
I've seen people. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
so
just don't.
technically speaking, Starfield
Yeah.
was a success because it made the money.
no, but it's
I know. I know. I know.
such a
I know. So because think about it.
Go ahead.
If you're an executive, right, and you're like, I need this game to make, let's just say, 500 million,
okay.
right? And then the game comes out and you guys exceed expectations from the sales. But then the people are like, this game is horrible. But as an executive who needs to recruit the money, you're like,
but it's
well,
smoke and mirrors. Maybe
Yes.
that's the best way to put it.
It is.
It's the way they hyped it up. We sat here like, oh, these graphics are crazy.
Yeah. It
This
wasn't
should be
even, and
great.
I wasn't, so for me, I'm not a graphics person.
Uh-huh.
If a game looks fun, like some games on Steam that are like turn-based,
Yeah.
I like turn-based games. I don't mind them at all. So we grew up
No, I
playing with
get it.
Final Fantasy,
Yes.
and Legends of Dragoon, a lot of other stuff. So for me, I'm like, I don't care too much about, is graphics nice to look at when you're sitting back and you turn on your monitor or your TV and you see this beautiful landscape? Yes. For me, with Starfield, it wasn't the graphics that drew me. It was the
Concept.
or the illusion of what you can do. Because it's like, I can be in space. I can be flying around. I can go to other planets and get a crew and fight and stuff like that. I'm like, when you're growing up and you're watching like Star Trek or Star Wars, you're like, I would love a game where I can go in space and do space stuff.
Of course.
So you're like, I can go in space with a AAA game from Bethesda, of all people, and do space stuff. Mm-hmm. And then you go and start doing space stuff, and you're like, where's the space stuff?
Courtney.
And you go on these planets, and you're thinking, I'm going to see creatures and stuff, and you're
like a rabbit.
Yeah.
Like, my issue, and here's the thing, though. The reason, and you're right, but the reason I brought up the graphics is to follow up to my next point on what pissed me off the most about that stupidness, is that you showed the graphics, because it was going to be an Xbox, there's a new generation of consoles, like, okay, fine. They're hyping up what TV to play it on, the best TV to play it on, best sick Wi-Fi internet to download, and then you get the game, and it's glitched.
Where's my space stuff?
Where's your space stuff? Okay, fine. Where's your space stuff?
Where's my space
but for
stuff?
me, it was glitchy. And then they're saying, well, put it on this settings. You need this, this
clearly your computer,
GPU, all these things. And then I was like, well, maybe it is me. Okay. So I went online, and everybody's like, I got the top of the line everything. It's still glitching. And Xbox is like, oh, well, it worked on ours. I'm like, we got Ultron playing it.
Xbox like, just because y'all broke don't mean that game don't work.
Like, bro, like, and I think that's the part that pissed me off. It was like, not once did they say, hey, we're going to look into it and like fix it. They said, well, it worked on ours. Like
most other companies, when you play a game on Steam, for instance, and people are like, hey, Battlefield's like Corey's photography pro game is out. Your game's not that optimized. Most companies are going to go, yeah, we have a patch coming out. We realize this isn't aligning. We're going to fix it like a couple of days.
Like, I hate them. Like, I'm now hate them. Now I'm thinking about this. Don't forgive me. I know hate's not a good word, but in the fact, like you said, technically, from a smoke and mirrors part, they won. From a money aspect,
from an executive aspect,
but from a community consumer aspect, I don't know what's lower than an F. You fail, and I think, and here's the other part before we wrap up, because we're going on for this is going on.
I got one more thing before.
Okay, the hi-fi situation. The reason that doesn't, what they did, to your point of finding a game that works, tailor your expectations. Certain games are not going to. It's not going to be Halo and Gears. Of course. But if you find something that consistently people love and enjoy, they'll keep paying for, especially if you give DLCs. That's more money. Them doing that shows me that they don't have faith in what they're doing. Because if your argument, not saying you, but if the argument is Hi-Fi worked, but it didn't work to Halo standards or Gear or whatever, I don't know what their expectations were with that game. But to me, and a lot of people, it was a success. To them, it was, well, it wasn't to that. It's like, tailor your expectations. So for them to do that, any game that they put out, I'm going to look at it and say, I'm sure this will be done in the future. Like, it doesn't.
Okay.
That's why. Because when you make certain decisions like that, that you didn't even give it a chance.
No.
That's my argument.
So
Go ahead.
Well, two things for you.
Sure,
Wrap up.
go ahead.
One, for that argument, I'm not going to say I'm expecting the next whatever game comes out. Let's say there's a game this year for fall that's outside of Gears, for instance. I'm not talking about Gears. They're not going to scrap Gears.
No, of course not.
So I don't think they're going to scrap the people who make Fable, because Fable technically is a cornerstone game. They just haven't made one in God knows how long. So if they continue with Fable like they did with the other three, then they'll be in the same circle. So I don't think they would scrap Fable because they didn't buy. They already had them.
Yeah.
They're obviously not going to scrap Bethesda, because Sony would be like, we'll come for your heads for that. So that's what I'm saying. They're like
scrap Bethesda. I'm like
I can see them like, all right, we're unbuying you guys or whatever.
If they do that, I'm gonna look at them like, just sell your company.
So for instance, like Bethesda, like the people I forgot the company make Fable, they're fine. I think I don't remember who made Avowed. I don't remember which company. So like Avowed would probably be fine. It's just, for me, it's the I'm not gonna say lower end games.
No.
So obviously
I know
Hi-Fi is like, let's say indie in this.
Okay, I know.
So I think games like that would be on a chopping block to not get a sequel.
But I don't think that's the wisest thing, because in between all your bigger games, you still need something.
Yes, but they have indie games from their studios that they already have. So I can see it as, if, for instance, they buy a company. Let's say they're like, Core, we're buying company. You're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then you release this game, but it doesn't match whatever standards they have. Or if it's just like, hey, this is an indie game, it didn't break. We needed them to break, I don't know, 5 million, and they didn't break the 5 million. They're gonna go, well, why would we make a second one? So they scrapped that, but they still have all these probably hundreds of other indie games coming, and outside their AA to AAA games, to them they're like, we'll just make the money back through them instead of